everyone. So we are back with another thrift store book haul, and this one's a little bit more of like a sentimental kind of one because in this haul they're all books from a series that I read when I was a little girl, and I could just not get enough of this series, and I kind of like, you know, didn't keep up with it over the years, obviously, as I kind of aged out of the series, but it's one that they're actually like still adding to this day. So this was actually a really fun thrift book haul to kind of track down all these books because these are all going to be from the American Girl series. And back in my day, whenever I was reading these, I think there were probably only about, I don't know, maybe like 6 to 8 American Girls that were in the series, but I feel like it's just been expanding all these years. So there's so many characters and new faces that I don't even know about, but I just remembered loving these books so much. So this was like a very kind of sentimental one for me whenever I saw these at the thrift store. So I got these over several different trips to the thrift store, and I've just kind of been saving them up for one kind of collective haul video. So question of the day, if you read the American Girl series, who was your favorite American Girl? I definitely had one that I identified with the most just because I felt like we looked the most alike, and this was back in the day before I ever started dyeing my hair when I was a little girl and I had brown hair. So I really loved Samantha Parker. Number one, just because I thought we looked the most alike, but also I loved that kind of like Edwardian, Victorian kind of time period that she grew up in. I think it was Edwardian, to be honest, but either way, I loved her so much. So she was my favorite. So let me know, what was your favorite American Girl that you either felt like you looked the most like, or you connected the most with, or whoever was just your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. I would definitely love to know. So speaking of my favorite one, the first one is actually like the friend to the main girl that I really loved, which was, of course, Samantha Parker. This one takes place in 1906, and this was her friend Nellie. So I do remember like reading a few stories with Nellie, but I didn't realize that she had like her own kind of like little spin-offs. So I saw this one at the thrift store, and all of these I got, I think they were all $1.79. So I was so excited when I saw these because, like I said, these were so sentimental to me, and not only are they sentimental for me, but I think that these would be really fun stories for my little niece to get into. She is going to be 7 very soon, and I just feel like she is a very avid reader already, and I feel like even though these might be just a little bit advanced for her at her age right now, these would be so fun to read to her, and I think it would just be a really fun thing to kind of like bond with her over, something that I love from my childhood, and hopefully she will love these as well. So I will probably see what she thinks about these next time I see her. But like I was saying, this one is called Nellie's Promise. So I can't remember how many are in each like little series, like mini series for each girl, but there's just so many cute ones. So I got that one. This next one, I really loved this girl too, because number one, I had a friend that looked just like her, and so I liked the Samantha books. She liked the Molly books. So I have several of the Molly ones. So if you're not familiar, Molly is the character. Her stories all take place around World War II. So it's 1944. So kind of right at the tail end of World War II. And I remember learning so much like from a child standpoint of view, like the changes that people had to make during World War II. You know, like they talk a lot about like victory gardens and things like that. So I feel like this was like my very first like toe dip into being a sentient person, realizing what World War II was. So I just really enjoyed her stories. Oh, and now that I can see on the back, I can see all the characters. I loved all of these. I at least read one book from all of them. From my days, there were 6 girls. So there was Felicity, Kirsten, Samantha, Josefina, Addie, and Molly. And I remember like I loved them all. I really liked Addie's stories as well. But yeah, Samantha, she was my girl. That was my girl. So I got several of the Molly books. This one's called Changes for Molly. That one's book 6. This one is Molly's Surprise, A Christmas Story. That's book 3. Then I have Molly Learns a Lesson. This one is book 2. Then of course I have book number 1, Meet Molly. And then we have number 5. This one is Molly Saves the Day. And I think that's all of the Molly books that I have. So next up I have some from Josefina, and this one is book number 3. This one is Josefina's Surprise, A Christmas Story. So I feel like this is the one, I didn't read as many of her books, so I'm really excited to like read more of her stories whenever I find more of those at the thrift store. I'm always keeping my eyes open for them. And so like I was saying, those are like the original 6 girls, but then they have added more over the years. I remember like at the very tail end of whenever I was reading these, they added Kit, and she was not one of the original 6, but I do remember her books coming out at that time when I was reading them, and I really liked her too. I think she was like, she liked the 1930s. Maybe the 1930s or 1920s, I can't remember. Either way, I really love them all. But these are some of like the newer like stories, like new characters that I have like no clue about this girl at all, but I found several of her books. So yeah, these started coming out in like 2007. Again, some of the other characters. So Kaya, again, Kaya was not on the original, was she? No, she wasn't. She wasn't part of the original 6, but Kaya, I remember reading her books too. Like I said, Felicity, Josefina. So there's a new duo, and I did not know these girls at all. It was Cecile and Marie Grace. I didn't know any of theirs whenever they were coming out. Those were not out whenever I was reading these. Like I said, Kirsten, Addie, Samantha. They added another one, Rebecca. This one's like 1914. And Kit, like I was saying, okay, so she was 1934, so she was a Great Depression girl. Molly was out, and then this one is a new girl called Julie, and she's kind of like the 1970s version. So this is kind of cool. So I've got Julie's Journeys. This is what hers looks like. Then I have Julie and the Eagles. So she's totally probably going to be like a crunchy granola hippie girl, I think. This one's called Changes for Julie. Then I have Meet Julie, and I accidentally messed up and double bought. So I have 2 copies of Meet Julie. So I will probably either like, I don't know, maybe resell it, or maybe if my niece would like this one, she can keep a copy herself for him. But I have a spreadsheet that I keep like a list of all my books on, and at one point I just forgot to check that one off, so I accidentally duplicated it. And then the last one I have here is called Happy New Year Julie. So those are all the ones that I have so far from the American Girl collection. Like I said, I loved these books so much when I was a kid, and I'm really hoping that my niece is interested in these as well. Even if she's not, that's okay, because it'll be fun for me to kind of go back through memory lane, reading the stories that I used to love, and exploring like the little new characters. And of course, you know, these books are so little, you know, you can read this like in an hour, so it'll be really fun to read these and kind of re-explore a little bit of my childhood, and I just love things like that. So I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye open for more of these books at the thrift store in the future, and trying to just kind of build my collection around those, because I felt like this was a really good series at like kind of introducing more historical moments to kids in a really like age appropriate kind of way. So I'm really excited to find more of those books and read more of them in the future. I'll probably read a few of these like kind of just like in my off time between series and stuff like that. But that was just a really quick little book haul of some of my American Girl books that I have found, and I really hope to find some more in the future from the thrift store, so maybe there will be a future update down the line. But that is it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Links are below. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.